Hello and welcome back to Toxic, the podcast about pop culture morals and modern day mores, I guess I'd say. I am one of your hosts, Leah, and joined by co-host,
Shalina, that's me.
and that's you. Today we're going to be talking about who?
Brit.
Good old Britney Jean Spears. I have no idea if that's her middle name. It sounds right to me though. Britney Spears. We're going to be
I think
talking
that's
about
her.
her. Yeah. And I don't know who should tee this up. I Yeah,
I think
who
it
should?
should be you. But I mean,
Okay.
before we tee this up, I feel like we have to give her the respect that she deserves. So,
Okay.
you know, performer,
Yeah.
self-rescuer,
Mogul.
mogul, that's right. Mastermind, people forget.
Yeah. Vegas
Um,
resident. She had
oh
a
gosh, that's
residency in
right.
Vegas.
Um, Slave
International pop
escapee.
star,
That's right. International pop star, singer, dancer, like I said,
award
performer,
winner.
choreographer, award
Yeah,
winner. Actor. Oh yeah, she was an actress.
she
Um,
was.
yeah, and has been through some stuff, but also,
Yeah,
yeah, we'll just leave it at that. So
yeah.
Miss Britney Spears,
An icon. Yeah, and even as someone
and
who's
an
not necessarily a
icon.
fan, I would have to say, yeah, an icon.
Yeah.
That is who we're talking about today. Yes, Miss Britney Spears. And you said I should tee it up?
Yes, you should tee it
Well,
up.
sure. So Britney's been in the news. As we all know, Britney, was it last year or the year before, uh, was finally released from a 13-year-long conservatorship that her father had her under, and fans rallied and protested and had signs and made impassioned speeches on video, uh, that I think helped, or at least bolstered her, for her in her struggle to be freed from this conservatorship. So she is newly-ish freed from this, having
Yeah.
been
And
gagged
some
for
would
years.
say, let me
Mhm.
interject, some would say that she actually sent coded messages to her fans and kind of mastermind that protest. So,
Yeah, which she
but
hasn't ever really come out and talked about,
mhm.
which is kind of strange. You'd think she would acknowledge it by now, but she definitely thanked her fans for all the love and support through the years. So she's been in the news for those reasons, and questions about her mental health followed shortly after, because she started, and actually even during the conservatorship, she would post sort of strange videos on Instagram of her dancing in her house in the like the most low cut underwear you've ever seen in your life, straight from the 90s, low riding, was it the 90s or 2000s? Yeah, I guess it was 2000s. Very low cut sort of bikinis and dancing, frantically in her house to different popular music. She's wild and free, but it sometimes can come off as quite manic. Is there anything you want to say about that?
Well, I'm saying, so I just want to make sure we're clear. We're saying she posts videos on the internet
Mm-hmm.
in low cut clothing
Yes.
and what would you say? Well, would we call it immodest, or would we say provocative, or would we just say what many people wear on the beach?
What
Um,
people wear on the beach, sure.
okay, so outfits that people wear on the beach, but she's in her
Right.
own home by herself,
Sure.
presumably, or maybe not. Um, and
Disheveled,
she's
somewhat
dancing,
disheveled. Mm-hmm.
frantically, and of course she is known as a dancer. Actually, some say she used to be before they, gave her a chemical lobotomy. A great dancer. So yeah, she's a dancer, so she likes to
Mm-hmm.
dance.
She
So she's
does. Yeah.
dancing in her house in bathing suit type wear.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Just want
Exactly.
to make
Yes.
sure.
But also looking at what we consider a bit disheveled at times. But she's at home, and that's certainly her right. And nobody needs to see
Disheveled.
her.
And what do you mean by disheveled? Her hair's not
Uh,
done?
her not just not done, but sort of just looking like a teeny bit. I don't know. Unkempt is a little strong, but like, yeah, a little. Yeah, a little
Is it more
wildish.
the look in her eye?
And there is a bit of the cuckoo in her eye, I
Okay.
would say. Yeah, that's not the most objective thing to say, but yeah, there's a gleam in her eye that seems, to me, the people I've known to be manic and going through a manic episode, I believe I recognize that look in her eye. And look, joy is joy. I'm happy you're having it. Um, but it has sparked concerns for people. And delight, by the way. There are people who love their videos. There is a rapper named Plies. I literally, when Britney has a video, I do not follow Britney. I'm not a Britney fan necessarily. But whenever there's a Britney video, I know about it just because of social media. And I immediately go to Plies' Instagram page to find his reaction because he is always so delighted and it is so charming and adorable. And I think, at least so far, pretty wholesome. So anyway, so Britney has been sort of a lightning rod for controversy just by literally dancing in her house. But it is really the way she sort of presents in those dances that have sparked concerns for her. So this past week, the week we just went through, she posted a video of herself imitating a dance that Shakira recently did, I think the week before, at the VMAs, the VMA Awards.
Okay.
Or is award already in VMA? Yes, I think so. And Shakira's dancing with knives, and Shakira, she's like, is she part Persian or something? And she's got sort of like an Arabian sort of feel to her in her music, and she was dancing with knives. And so Britney did a video in tribute to that. And it's her sort of frantic dancing and with knives. And it sparked some concerns for her fans who
Sounds
then,
fantastic.
what? Oh, the knife dance?
Yeah. Sounds
Oh,
so cool. Sounds like someone who is, I'm not going to say friends with Shakira, but who ran in those same circles and who I believe did a Pepsi commercial with her
oh,
and
maybe.
was probably like, that's so fun. Look at her dance on the VMAs with knives. I used to be at a place called the VMAs. Like, whoa, let's do a fun tribute in my house with some knives. And were the knives real?
And it turns out the knives, well, she says the knives are from a prop shop. But what prompted the fans to, which I don't know if I said, they called the police and
What?
they asked for a welfare check to check on our girl Brit. And Britney was not so happy about that. And so the controversy continues. Like, should they have called the cops? Should the cops have come? Um,
Oh
and
my
so on.
gosh.
Yeah. So, but in
You
doing
didn't tell
some
me
research,
that.
in what part?
That someone called the police on her and
Yeah,
made
yeah.
them
I
do
mean,
a wellness check?
they had to do a wellness check, but in doing my research, I found out it wasn't just that she was dancing with knives, it was also that she had some bandages on her person. She was bandaged. And so the dancing with knives and her being, cut up, she I think she may have labeled the picture as like, don't worry guys, they're fake, or that came after. I couldn't determine that part, like, but for sure she spoke to it later and said that they were fake, but I just couldn't confirm whether or not she initially indicated that, meaning because you can go back and edit your own, right, your caption. But anyway, she said that, or this article from TMZ I was reading said fans aren't buying her prop knife explanation because she's also in video with a bandage on her arm and a cut on her leg. So the cops went to her house to do a welfare check, and it did not go over well. Britney was very unhappy, and actually, I think she believed she refused to see them. They refused to leave until she did, and I can't remember if she actually spoke to them, but I think maybe an assistant did. But she was very upset, and she said that she would, she thought it was very unfair, and I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
That the well, more not just that they would show up, but that they would show up on the insistence of a random fan, as she said, and that I have to give her some credit for. Um, because that's true, that like, why that would just some person on the internet be able to send cops to your house and it works and you are a famous person. And then and we can talk about any part you want, any thread that you want to go down, but I do want to say that she used the word bullied. She said, I've been bullied in my home for so long now, it's enough, don't talk about it, come on, let's do it. So, and then the rest of her I don't know how much sense the rest of it makes, but she has said that she's been bullied in her home, and that can't feel good. So yeah, that's the controversy, is
Yeah.
like, do we feel like, does the public feel like we're watching sort of someone unravel or have episodes, and they're dangerous and she's a danger to herself, or is she just sort of having fun and being bullied for thinking outside the box?
She's having fun and she's being bullied.
Okay.
That's what's going on.
That's your take on it?
Yes. And they just want to cage women. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, this is ridiculous. She can be wild and free. I don't know why it scares everybody.
Because knives are scary, and she could really hurt herself. And
Okay.
I don't know if Shakira talked about like what went into that knife performance. I have no
Oh
idea,
my
but
goodness. Was she juggling the knives, Leia? Was she juggling the knives?
she was wielding knives enough so that, okay, little miss, don't want to take this seriously. The actor that plays the killer, was it Jason, I think, or was it Freddie? I think it was Jason. He came out and said she really should be careful. He said that through the noise of the clanking of the knives, he believes that they're fake. Meaning from her watching her video, but
Uh-huh.
that they're still dangerous. That you do have to know what you're doing, and you actually can be hurt by them, because what they are is they're just dull, basically. Like, everything's sort of dull about them, which I never understood. I assumed they were like very flimsy and plastic, but I guess it would make sense. Like, you need the heft of something real to look real, right? Like, it probably can't be from something that's super super light. So I don't know what a prop knife exactly would feel like, but yeah, until this episode, in my head, they were probably very light, but now I kind of understand that maybe they're not. So yeah, I guess they're substantial enough that she could potentially hurt herself. So that is, just to add a little context to that. So
Because
we've
she's
got
dancing
bandages.
with knives.
Yeah, which is not a thing that you see every day, and is potentially dangerous. I
God,
think it would
it's
be.
such a nanny state. My God.
I would what people are saying is, we don't know if it's nanny enough. Like,
Ew,
I don't know
what?
that she should be dancing with not, like, it sounds fairly dangerous.
Who cares? Maybe that's what makes it fun and interesting and unique. She is a professional dancer. Leave her alone. I
So you sound just like Chris Crocker, and then Chrissy Crocker, and then back to Chris Crocker. I think that fan from how many years ago, or definitely over 10 now, who made his impassioned plea, leave Britney alone. He was tearful sort of wail that was memed so heavily. Yeah, just kind of
I
upset
guess
for her and feeling that she's being bullied. But I
yes.
I hold the exact opposite opinion, and I think that, yeah, these things are concerning,
My God.
because, as I was saying to you, unfortunately, a big part of presenting as sane is performing sanity. And it might even be a self-fulfilling sort of thing. Like, the more sane you behave, for what looks like sanity in the public, so the more sane you might actually be. I mean, I'm not saying I'm totally in that camp, but I could see a case for that, like, yeah, okay, you should get to do whatever you want, but when those things veer into looking very dangerous for you, that you could harm yourself, yeah, it's a scary time. We do know that people do harm themselves with knives, right? Like, you understand that that's not a fear that comes out of nowhere. Not like she's juggling turtles. Like,
But you said she wasn't juggling them.
no, but I'm saying it's not like it's something completely, I don't want to say normal because it's not a nice word, but
Yeah.
usual. It's not something that you normally see a person dance with knives, and that it's something that's sort of titillating and salacious and out there, because nobody dances with knives.
Right,
Yeah, it's a
exactly. But
story.
it's Britney Spears, so she's literally, like you said, an icon, an international performer. She's been on stage with Madonna. She's in her own home. She's having fun. Leave her alone. Everybody thinks everything is so dangerous. Just trust her that she knows what she's doing, and if she doesn't, she'll learn fast. I mean, what in the world? My
Yeah, I
God.
don't know. I think we don't know how fast she learned. But yeah, that's what the controversy is. So
It's just
I don't
one
know.
time. I'm sure she wasn't going to make a practice of dancing with knives. My goodness, now you guys have made it into this whole big thing. Do you think it's weird that I twirl my stick?
So Shalina has a stick that she twirls when she walks. Yes, it's very weird. It's extremely weird. Yeah,
Okay. Do you think it's dangerous? Should
yeah,
someone get
probably. Yeah, it's not dangerous enough that you shouldn't do it, or that it would be inappropriate for you to tape yourself doing it. You'd look like a dork. But yeah, you could tape yourself twirling a stick. That's the other part of this that I don't want to get into because I know I'm unusual in that. Like, it's the filming yourself doing the weird stuff too. To be honest, that like you can do weird stuff in your house, nobody knows about it. But the fact that you put out like,
She's
A,
Britney
it's
Spears and
weird.
she's having
B,
fun.
you open yourself up to criticism. Like, I don't think it's totally fair to be like, why are these people criticizing me as I share weird things with them? Like, okay,
But she doesn't
let's.
have, but I would share, I would never share a video of me twirling a stick with you, but I share weird things with you because you're my friend. She probably doesn't have any friends. You know who's her friend? The
Well,
internet. So that's why she dances on the internet and talks to the internet.
no, but everybody puts it. That's why I don't want to make it like that.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I'm just saying it's a thing that you have put out there. Like, no, everybody puts their stuff on the internet. Everybody wants to show what they're eating for dinner and what they made and
I
that they
don't
run out of
care.
toilet paper. Like, this is where we are right now. I really am not trying to come down on that by any means. This seems to be part of the zeitgeist. I don't even have to complain about it at this point. Um, and so yeah, I want to be really clear. I'm not saying like it's weird that she puts stuff on the internet. I just mean, well, it is a choice though. It's not like someone caught her. It's not found footage of Britney Spears dangerously twirling knives. Like, no, she went and got knives, prop or otherwise, to twirl, and then she filmed herself. So yeah, there's going to be some comments on that. But
Okay,
if
but
you
I
don't
don't,
have any, sorry,
yeah, no, I don't have an issue with it. I don't think it's unusual. I think she's having fun. I think we
is it
expect women to sit in a corner and be quiet and don't do anything at all scary or titillating or dangerous or adventurous or unusual
okay? But it is
or
unusual. So
atypical.
already, like
Okay, so
that's
it's
the
fine. It's
whole.
unusual. Is
No,
being
you said it's
unusual
not
illegal?
unusual. It is very unusual. It's very unusual, and that's
I
why she
said
takes.
it's unusual. Oh, that's okay. I agree
No,
that it's
you're
unusual. I don't think unusual and all those other things is a capital offense or an offense that should have people concerned that you're in a manic episode or need a wellness check from the popo. Oh my goodness. That's a
well.
lot.
We are
A lot
completely
going
at
on right
odds with
there.
this. I wouldn't necessarily label her toxic, but if for some reason people started to copy her and maybe didn't even
Oh
know she was
God.
using prop knives, then yes, she would veer into the toxic. But I'm not going to put her
What?
as toxic quite yet. She seems to possibly be a danger to herself, but she does not get a toxic label from me. However, I totally disagree with you, and I find her behavior concerning. I
I
have
don't
one
find it
more.
concerning at all. I feel like people should leave Brit alone. Leave her alone and leave women alone and leave people who just don't fit in your box of what a woman is or should be doing alone too. Let's do all of that. And just because someone has a gleam in their eye doesn't mean they need a wellness check. My
Well,
goodness.
so we are diametrically
Oh,
opposed.
she's dancing out
We
some
would
trauma. They literally put her in a cage and like kind of slaved her and made her do all those shows back to back to back. They took away her ability to have a baby. Like they just put her in a cage and she is coming out of one. So it makes sense that she would be behaving possibly erratically and have some things to work out. And it sounds like she is. My goodness. Oh, that's a lot. I don't know what's going on there. She's not toxic at all. She's traumatized. And even if she wasn't traumatized, she has the right to be unusual and do things
She has the
that
right to
that
be
scare
unusual.
people and that do and do things that are beyond people's capacity to do themselves. So they label it scary because they can't do it. Oh my God. This place, it's such a freaking nanny state. Oh, and then some stupid kids imitate her and start doing weird things with knives. It's their stupid parents' fault. Okay, so and that's that. That's all I gotta say
You think
about
she
it.
wouldn't have any culpability? No,
No,
she has a responsibility. She's
no,
got
she
people looking
doesn't.
at her. No, okay, well
Why
then
are
you're
these
being a
stupid
hypocrite.
children on the internet looking at things? Why don't
because
they have
that's
enough
where we
brain
all are.
power to know that you don't juggle that? I mean, if they're so no, never mind.
Because their
Listen,
prefrontal cortex is not developed yet. That's not fair at all. And if
was
I and
yours?
you
Would
do,
you juggle knives because you saw some lady with a gleaming eye and looking disheveled with low cut underwear on, twirling knives? Would you think, oh yeah, somebody will get the knife out of my parents' a drawer and like I should twirl some too? Would you have done
no,
that?
you know what I would have done?
What? Would you even allowed to see that?
Call the cops. And on that note,
Okay, I guess.
this story actually I have a really cute, fun ending to share about this. So unless you have anything else to say about the issue at hand today, the question we have for our listeners, like, are you team get Britney some supervision or team free Brit?
Yeah.
Let us
Well,
know
I think
in the
we know what
comments.
team I'm on, and I think we know
Yes,
what team you're on.
definitely. I am the captain of that team. And again, not even a fan, but just want to make sure that lady is okay. So please, yes, share your thoughts with us in the comments. And just to wrap this up, it's just like the prettiest bow, the
Brit, Brit,
coolest
Brit.
thing. Sorry, free Brit, yes, okay, that's one way to feel. Um, Britney Spears, like in the my favorite category of news of women are an economy unto themselves. Britney, okay, so according to a couple of sources, the prop shop where Britney Spears claims she rented her famous dancing knives has seen a big boost in sales after her shout out, and it's helped pull the store out of a financial hole. The manager of Hand Prop Room in LA tells TMZ online traffic and calls to the shop have doubled since the Brit name dropped their spot. Thursday on Instagram, rental sales for their props, especially knives, have gone up. And get this, the manager is partially thanking Britney for saving the store. He's all the way thank you, Britney, but for partially saving the store because they've been struggling during the writers and actors strikes this year. And so this
Oh,
actually may have saved them. It's actually a really cool story, provided everything true. But I just thought that was really nice. And yeah, just speaks to like, yeah, her workmanship, her body of work, her fame, her career, women in general, like when we achieve things, like so many people eat from us and we are capable of doing so much. And so yeah, that was so
I
cool.
love that. That's so great. How nice.
Well, thank you so much for listening in. Yeah, that's all we have
See you
today.
next time.
Next time. Bye.
Bye.